here to do a special. Well, all my web web episodes are special in one respect or another, but this one is going to be more grounded in real life. Pretty much halfway settled into my new apartment. It's Lord bless me with it, because it's better than staying at folks and dealing with other people's drama and stuff. So I thank the Lord for that. One of the things I also want to discuss was my favorite synth, favorite synthesizer programs, plugins that I use to make music. And this is not for the ones who have so much money they can just get the top of the line stuff. I'm just giving you my thing, how I do, because I think it's kind of important for people to know that really want to do music and be interested in music, to get something that they can afford. But if they got to do it for free, they can do it for free. If they can't afford this stuff, money's tight. I think one of the things I want to show more than anything else is that a lot of times it's not about always making that money. Sometimes it's also about whether or not you're actually being happy with what you do and the motives for you to make music. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody else, but let's be real. I've been seeing too many people focusing on the money aspect and not the creativity aspect, not the love for the art in itself. And look, I'm not saying I'm a baller. No, I'm straight out poor. The Lord's been blessing me with a lot of things, and He's bringing me up. But I'm doing things not where everybody else is, and I'm doing music not everybody's gonna really attend to, because I don't do the other kind of stuff. But before I do anything, I got this guy, young cat from the UK named George Shackleton, aka Cults. He also goes by another alias, but he does drum and bass. But I'm going to focus on two-step or UK garage, not garage, garage. Craig David does garage, two-step. But check out his page. Colts on SoundCloud.com. He has a couple of songs that are free downloads. He's very talented. Whether or not people in the States gonna really be in tune with that, it doesn't even matter, because really you gotta focus on being worldwide, not just So coming up, and also was what to say too. Some other things that's been popping up real life that affects my music, because unlike other folks claiming that music is their life, my life is my music. Therefore, my life has more of priority what's going on than music at times, and that's just keeping it real, keeping it honest. All right, so on to my synth programs. Okay, this program I use for this is for my piano sounds. A lot of stuff I've been doing. I ran across this program and I was just download happy. I saw this and I was like, try it. And then the thing with this program, with this synth, there are different channels that you can program different commands to. The steel guitar, the upright pins, and the ambient set. Where ambient set is supposed to be for drums, bass, guitar, and of course piano. But I don't use the drums too much, so I just leave that alone. The channels, I usually switch everything to one. Kind of depends on what kind of sound I want. And usually if I want to make a combination of richer sounds, I combine the steel guitar, whatever. But it's not the only thing I can go to. I mean, you got different presets. Let's go to steel. And then I can put this down. Whatever. Pretty much, this is what I use for a lot of my piano pieces. that I put in, and I like it because it sounds rich, and when I kind of take care of the reverb and the chorus and all that stuff and make it richer than it is. And then plus also I also need a better USB keyboard, but whatever. This is a wonderful, wonderful program for piano sounds. Like I said, Edirol Super Quartet is what I use for piano. Okay, now this particular instrument is only exclusively to FL Studio as far as I know, and it gives a good representation of how a bass guitar sounds like. In any case, it's a nice, beautiful representation of the sound. I'm starting to get into this a lot more, especially as I'm breaking away from a lot of the traditional electronic music to go for a little bit more organic sounding. And when you hook this up to your amp plugins or however you want to do it, how you make your music, it is a very effective tool that I use, and I love this instrument. The thing is, with all instruments, if you want to really be proficient at it, you have to learn the music theory behind it, how to read it, and I'm getting to that point now that I need to do that in order to really make the most of the program, because you can't really think of it as a piano when you're dealing with a bass guitar, even though you have USB. You have a USB keyboard, okay? So Boo Bass, it has a nice warm sound to it. I've used it on Northwest Island. I've used this on other tracks that I'm doing. Some of the things some of the sounds that you will hear, it'll be exclusively on my latest album, so that I'm working on. So when you look at it, you know, when you have that Boo Bass, you can have it molded to where it doesn't even sound like it's a computer program. But this is Boo Bass, and it's only on FL Studio. Okay, the first part of the DSK instruments I have is DSK strings. This is also known to me as a personal nickname as a CPU killer. And a CPU killer is any program or application that's used to either make music or anything else that'll sap the CPU power of any computer. In this case, my computer isn't the most high-end computer in the world, and because when you have something like this, it'll really suck this up big time. As you can see, so now I can mix this up for cello. Has that nice sound, thematic. Well, the reason why I want to choose this because I would have more of a mood to my songs, and pushing myself to be more quote unquote organic as opposed to always the synth sound, all that stuff. This is what I use. Now I have an alternate called Cheese Machine that you will see soon. But when I really want to have that feeling, and if I use FL Studio, I'm able to use this a lot more than if I use it on Cubase to a point. But then I can't use this on my older programs because it'll just kill the program right off the bat. So this is DSK strings. Back to the DSK series. DSK Indian Dreams. This is the program I use to make Hindi bass. But when I use this program, and I go through the various instruments it tries to replicate, I don't like using samples. Not when I know that there are actual instruments out there, and you have to learn how different instruments are to get a better, basically what I'm saying is you need to get a decent music theory on how it goes, so then you can use it to the best of advantage. I've only scratched the surface of this program because when you're dealing with Indian music, Hindi music, you're dealing with a composition or dealing with a way of producing music that's not like the Western world, and I'm glad it's not. So when you go deal with tablets, I have not used the tablets on this because number one, for me to use the tablets, I want to get it as accurate as I can. And when I was going to college, when they had a YouTube video on how the Hindi performers, very famous ones, normally would sound out the kind of, the sound is going to come out, stuff like that. Then they go replicate it, on the tablets. I like this instrument. If I had, 5-10 years just to finish the elementary level of learning the music theory behind this, I'd be very honored. So I'm only scratching the surface when it comes to Hindi bass. But I'm the only one that ever considered merging Hindi with bass music and make it an original composition and not built on samples. Anybody and everybody done samples, but this is straight original. Just remember that. And this is Indian Dreams.
I'm ready.
Okay. Thank you, my friends and family. I'll be kind of quick to have enough space on the camera left. I wanted to have a special thank you to my girl Anna for being the camera. Say hi.
Hi.
Okay. I wanted to have her do this because it has a better effect than always aiming at myself, and really it gets kind of old after a while. We'll go back to that, but every once in a while it's nice to have somebody else do that. Another one quick thing is I'm going to be working on my last album under the Monty Rock name, which is called Leaving Basslands. The journey continues, and it's going to show more of my influences outside of bass music. Bass is still going to be there as an influence, but it's not an overriding thing as a part of the genre. Because as it is, I have came to the conclusion that too many people like the status quo of things. Too many people don't like change. And the reason why I kind of dropped off in some pages is that it just seems like it's the same thing or variations. I'm not from Florida, so I have a different perspective on things. And I'm not gonna, and I've got too many influences in other genres to do them this disservice of not showing that up in my music. The reason why I do what I do is because I love doing what I do. I love doing music. With other people focusing on doing, focusing on money, I want to focus more on the love and the artistry of it. But I'm also willing to walk away from it if God's willing, because music is not my life. It's never been my life. God's been my life. My family's been my life. Everything else has been my life. Music is something I love to do, but it doesn't override everything else that goes on. Unfortunately, that also means that I was not able to submit my album for this round of Grammy nominations. Would it matter? I don't know. I don't think it would have anyway. But because I was dealing with life issues, I didn't really know the deadline came and went. Plus the fact that I didn't get a memo or email. So whatever. many minutes I got left, baby?
3 oh. It's
minutes to kind of.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna keep this short. I thank all my fans, my family. I thank God for getting me to where I'm at. People don't think I've come far, but at least I know how things are and how people are living. And there's too much of a disconnect of people having money and just doing whatever, and people really doing this for the love of it. And check me out on Spotify, check me out on iTunes, check me out on Amazon and all over the world and other stations. God bless. God loves you, so do I. Peace, one love.